So today's topic for discussion is histomorphology of melanoma. Before moving to topics, I would like to share one story of Bob Marley, which was a Jamaican singer, songwriter, and musician. He fused music with spirituality. He was icon for Rastafari movement and was involved in social reform movement in Central America. He was most celebrated and stood 11th greatest singer, among 100 singers of all the time. One morning when he was playing football, he got his toe injured. On showing to doctor after primary aid, he was discharged. And again, when he went to doctor after 1 month, the injury was not healed. There was ulceration and bleeding, and unhealed lesion over that site. Doctor suspected cancer and advised him for amputation of the toe, but the Bob denied amputation as he considered body as a temple of God and he would not interfere with it. So he continued his world tour uh, of singing and releasing albums. One fine morning in USA, while jogging, he collapsed on the ground. After taking to hospital, it was found that the cancer was spread to his lungs, brain, and liver. Uh, then doctor gave him multiple cycles of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Even after immense cycles, he succumbed to the cancer, and the cancer was acral lentiginous melanoma. It is a aggressive form of melanoma commonly found in African Caribbeans. So that negligence costed him very much. Now moving to the introduction, melanoma is a malignant condition. There is no benign melanoma, term benign melanoma. So malignant melanoma is considered as melanoma, which is a malignant melanocytic tumor arising from melanocytes. It is most deadly of all skin cancers than basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. It is fourth most common cancer in New Zealand and Australia with highest rate in the world. Uh, the bulk of population from New Zealand and Australia comprise of migrants from European countries. The skin of those migrants is not adapted to the sun exposure. Hence, there are more chances of growing melanoma in their skins than the native Maori tribes. So, white population and industrialized countries are more prone to develop melanoma. It is strongly linked to acquired mutation caused by UV radiation. It can occur as de novo or on pre-existing nevus. Mostly it is found as a de novo. Common sites are skin, lower extremities and trunk. Other site includes oral anogenital mucosal surface, meninges and uvea eye. Under the influence of genetic and environmental factors, nevus transform into dysplastic nevus, which ultimately transforms into melanoma. Nowadays, incidence of melanoma is rising partly due to climate change and partly due to increased awareness and referrals from general practitioners. Sites for melanoma, it can occur anywhere in the skin. Cutaneous sites, most commonly lower extremities are involved in female and trunk in male. Extracutaneous sites include uvea, anorectal region, upper aerodigestive tract, sinonasal tract, and leptomeninges. Now the risk factors for melanoma: skin color, namely white skin, abundant freckles, and family history of melanoma are risk factors. Presence of large numerous nevi. Normally in young adults there are up to 40 nevi are present which start decreasing after the age of 50 years. More than 5 atypical nevi is a risk factor. Again, age, tendency to burn is also a risk factor. In Indian population, there is tendency for tanning. Tanning protects from the melanoma. So melanoma is uncommon in Indian population. Genetic factors like CDKN2A and CDK4 mutations and xeroderma pigmentosum disorder are also risk factors. Immunosuppression, exposure to petrochemicals, printing products, and trauma, mainly subungual melanomas, are found in traumatic sites. Now we'll see the difference between the cells of any melanocytic lesions. Normally, three cells, melanocytes, nevus cells, and melanoma cells are seen. Melanocytes are dendritic cells found solitarily, having round small regular nuclei without mitosis. Nevus cells are rounded because they lose the dendrites while maturing, and they are found in clusters with small regular nuclei and no mitosis. While melanoma cells are rounded spindle cell or epithelioid-like. They are found in clusters also singly in sheets. They have large irregular nuclear membrane and hyperchromatic nucleus. Mitosis are quite oftenly seen. Before moving to histomorphology of melanoma, we'll see few common epidermal pigmentation disorders, namely ephyllites, that is freckles, lentigens, and melanocytic, that is pigmented nevus, or commonly known as moles. Freckles are multiple tiny brown spots ranging from 1 to 10 millimeter. These can appear in children and adult on sun-exposed part. There is increase in melanin without increase in melanocyte, which changes with sunlight. It is commonly seen in winter. Lentigens are larger brown spot, commonly seen in elderly people, often on non-sun exposed part. There is increase in melanin with increase in melanocyte. These do not change with sunlight, so these are constant throughout the year. While the benign nevus, known as moles, they are more than 2 millimeter in size, flat bumped brown spot present from birth or can appear in teenager. These are benign neoplastic neoplasms caused due to mutation in BRAF and NRAS mutation genes. These arise from any basal melanocytes. They include stages of maturations like junctional nevi when confined to epidermis, compound nevi when confined to epidermis and dermis, and last stage of maturation is intradermal nevus. That is when epidermal component eliminates the nevus cells and abundant of nevus cells are found in dermal layer. In this picture, you can see freckles, which are multiple tiny brown spots. There is increase in melanin without increasing melanocytes. And compared with lentigo, these are found in adults or non-sun exposed parts. These are larger brown spots. There is increase in melanin with increase in melanocytes. Now we'll see the difference between nevus and melanoma. Nevus is a benign lesion with symmetrical, well circumscribed morphology showing nested melanocytes and cohesive nets. It has regular nuclear border and absence of nucleoli and mitosis, whereas the melanoma is a malignant counterpart, which is often asymmetrical, well circumscribed. It contains nested melanocytes and coagunates, but shows atypia. Nuclear border is irregular, and there is a presence of prominent eosinophilic macronuclei in the melanoma, and mitosis and deep mitosis are abundantly seen. In this microscopic picture, you can see the nevi cells arranged in clusters, cohesive manner, and these are found in basal layer of the skin, whereas in this microscopic picture of melanoma, you can see the atypical melanocytes with abundant granular melanin infiltrating into the dermis. Few atypical melanocytes are migrating towards uh, epidermis, known as phagocytoid spread. Now we'll see the dysplastic nevus, also known as atypical or Clark's nevus. Term dysplastic is given by Ackerman, which is flat macule or slightly raised plaque, normally measuring more than 5 millimeters. Developmental pattern, it has two patterns. One is autosomal dominant familial and second is sporadic. In autosomal dominant familial pattern, BK mole syndrome and familial atypical multiple mole myeloma syndrome, which has 50% risk of melanoma, while in sporadic growth pattern, there is 10% risk of melanoma. So Clark's nevus is a precursor to melanoma. It is it has variegated pigmentation and irregular borders on clinical examination. It appears in sun exposed as well as protected skin. There is increased proliferation index, microsatellite instability, BRAF mutation, and P53 expression, and P10 loss, which is also commonly seen in melanoma. But the histomorphological features in melanoma and dysplastic nevus differ. Like in dysplastic nevus, there is certain atypical cytological atypia. Ackerman has said one phenomena, shoulder phenomena, which is nothing but the peripheral extension of junctional component beyond the dermal tumor component. On microscopy, dysplastic nevus, these are commonly found in compound type of nevus. There is lentiginous hyperplasia of the melanocyte in singly as a phagocytoid spread or in nest. There is a random cytological atypia showing occasional hyperchromatic cells with macronuclei. Not all melanocytes have atypia, but few cells show hyperchromatism with macro cherry red nuclei. Stromal response in the form of fibrosis in papillary dermis and focal regression in overlying junctional area. These responses commonly seen in dysplastic type of nevus. Now we will see the clinical features. Dermatologists commonly examine the skin lesion under dermoscope following the rule of ABCDE, where A stands for asymmetry, where the one half does not match the other half of the lesion. This melanoma oftenly have irregular notched up borders. It has variegated appearance of color, multiple colors in the same lesion, ranging from brown, black, blue, red, and it has a diameter more than 6 millimeter, which is the larger than that size of pencil eraser. And E stands for evolution, that there is slow or abrupt change in size, shape, color, elevation, or uh, any new symptoms like ulceration, bleeding, and pain can be considered as melanoma on clinical feature examinations. Now, before moving to histomorphology, we will see few concepts like growth phase. Radial growth, it has two components, radial growth phase, which is followed by vertical growth phase. Radial growth phase is a horizontal spread of atypical melanocytes within epidermis and papillary dermis. It is initial stage. It lacks the capacity to metastasize. It is commonly seen in all type of melanoma. While vertical growth phase, it is dermal invasion of expanding clonal mass of tumor into dermis. It is followed by radial. It occurs after radial growth phase. It has capacity to metastasize, and vertical growth phase commonly seen in nodular melanoma, where antecedent radial growth phase is absent. In this diagram, you can see the melanocytes are confined to epidermis, atypical melanocytes, and spreading horizontally in centrifugal manner. This is radial growth phase, which is followed by vertical growth phase deep into dermis. In this microscopic picture, you can see the melanocytes, invade dermis, papillodermis, and epidermis. They are spreading along the lentiginous lining and horizontally, whereas in vertical phase, melanocytes, melanoma cells spread vertically down to into the dermis. Now the stages of progression from benign nevus to metastatic melanoma. Benign nevus has a BRAF or NRAS mutation, and on exposure to ultraviolet sun rays, it transforms into dysplastic nevus, which is a pre-malignant lesion, and genetic changes like CDKN2A and PTEN loss, dysplastic nevus on exposure to ultraviolet radiations transform into melanoma by moving from radial growth phase, vertical growth phase to the invasive melanoma. In invasive melanoma, there is loss of E cathedrine and TRPM1 genes. Now we will see the depth of involvement of tumor, which is measured by two methods. One is Breslow method and other is Clark's method. In Breslow method, the Breslow thickness is the vertical distance measured in millimeter from granular cell layer to deepest part of tumor using microscopic micrometer. It is used as prognostic indicator, can be predicted by 75 megahertz ultrasonography. When Breslow thickness is more than 1 millimeter, it is known as thick melanomas. These are commonly associated with bleeding, having poor prognosis. When Breslow thickness is less than 1 millimeter, known as thin melanomas, they have excellent prognosis. While performing excision, wide surgical excision for in situ melanoma, 0.5 centimeter septic skin margin should be kept. For Breslow thickness up to 2 millimeter, 1 centimeter margin is commonly kept by the surgeons while doing surgical excision. Whereas the Breslow thickness is more than 2 millimeter, 2 centimeter safety margin should be kept. Now, the second method, Clark's method, it measures penetration of tumor in relation to different layers of dermis. It has 5 anatomical levels. Level 1 is confined to epidermis. Level 2 is invasion into papillary dermis. Level 3 is invasion into interface between papillary and reticular dermis. Level 4 is invasion into reticular dermis, and level 5 is invasion into subcutaneous tissue. Now we will see the melanoma in situ. That is the melanoma that has not breached the basement membrane. It is often found in conjunction with invasive melanoma. You can see the stage 0 melanoma, abnormal melanocytes that have not breached the basal layer, basement membrane. And normally ISC is required to exclude dermal invasion. And these in situ melanoma are cured by simple excision, but regular follow-up should be kept. Now we'll see the progression. Normal nevus, when exposed to ultraviolet radiation and genetic changes like BRAF and NRAS mutation, transform, transform into intermediate lesion known as dysplastic lesion, which on exposure to UV light and genetic NRAS TERT mutation, it evolves into melanoma in situ, which on same genetic and environmental exposure evolves into invasive melanoma. Melanoma oftenly found in de novo conditions like starts from new and also found in on pre-existing nevus. Some common nevus can be progressed to melanoma, like uh, common nevus on exposure to ultraviolet rays, mutations, BRAF and NRAS and NF1 can evolve into superficial nodular melanoma like acral mucosal nevus, blue nevus, Spitz nevus, and BAP1 inactivated nevus can be converted into melanoma on genetic and environmental exposures. Now we will see the histological features. Common histological features include epidermis showing ill-defined border, pagetoid spread of melanocytes, epidermal ulceration, discohesive melanocytes, and subjunctional melanocytes of different shapes and sizes. Dermis shows radial and vertical growth phases, sheets like growth pattern, absence of maturations, tumor necrosis, and apoptosis. Stroma shows variable inflammatory cell infiltrate and dermal fibrosis. Whereas the cytological features include melanocytes of epithelioid or spindly shaped cells, nuclear enlargement, hyperchromasia, coarse chromatin with peripheral condensation, which gives appearance of peppered moth nuclei, and cherry red nuclei with abundant fine granular melanin pigment. This microscopic slide shows melanoma tumor cells, which these are arranged in nest and few cells showing pagetoid spread into the epidermis. Brown fine melanin pigment is seen in melanoma, whereas in nevus you can see coarse melanin pigment, but abundant mitotic figures and cherry red eosinophilic macronuclei are the hallmark diagnostic signs of melanoma on histology. Now, classification of melanoma. Mainly four major subtypes and other subtypes are included in major superficial spreading melanoma, which is most common, followed by nodular melanoma, lentigo maligna melanoma, acral lentiginous melanoma. Other types include desmoplastic and neurotropic melanoma, melanoma arising from blue nevus, melanoma arising in a giant congenital nevus, melanoma of childhood, nevoid melanoma, and melanoma not otherwise specified. We'll see first superficial spreading melanoma. It is commonest subtype of melanoma commonly found on white skin. Males in the age group of 40s to 50s are more prone, and it is likely to develop from pre-existing nevus. It starts as only 4 to 5 millimeter macule, irregular, grows gradually. It has variegated color with shorter radial growth. On microscopy, you can see the asymmetrical proliferation of atypical melanocytes as a single unit. There is thinning of epidermis and loss of retrorages adjacent to nets of melanocytes. Cells, melanoma cells look like epithelioid or spindly shape. There is a shouldering phenomena where is the proliferation of junctional melanocytes along the dermal component can be seen. One phenomena, buckshot scatter phenomena, is commonly seen in superficial spreading melanoma, whereas there is a pagetoid spread of the melanocyte within the epidermis in horizontal movement. Buckshot, buckshot is a shotgun. When fired, it shows lead balls arranged in horizontally, like the buckshot. These atypical melanocytes are progressing horizontally in the epidermis. There is a mismatch interaction between melanocytes and keratinocytes, and presence of TIL is a clue for diagnosis. That is tumor infiltrating lymphocytes. These lymphocytes are good indicator or having TIL in the tumor shows good prognosis. Second, nodular melanoma. It is second most common, often found in de novo, more commonly in male. There is no antecedent radial growth, hence appear rapidly enlarging nodule and pedunculated lesion. As a brown to black dot, it is more aggressive. It does not follow ABCD rule of classical melanoma. It can grow up to 12 centimeters. Ulceration may be present. On microscopy, there is a nodular dermal proliferation of atypical melanocytes. Normally, epidermis is spared, but dermis include nodular proliferation of atypical melanocyte. Cells are round to oval. There is an increase in number of mast cells, and tumor cells show erythrophagocytosis. Third is lentigo maligna melanoma, commonly seen on elderly patients on chronically sun-exposed skin. Slow-growing melanoma and precursor lesion to lentigo maligna melanoma is lentigo maligna. There is radial growth followed by vertical growth. It has less metastatic potential. On microscopy, epidermis shows atypical melanocytes singly or in nest. There is epidermal atrophy and effacement of retiridges. There is extensive solar elastosis in the dermis is a clue to identify as a nodular melanoma. This continuous basal proliferation of atypical melanocytes in the dermis and extension of hair follicles is commonly seen. Next is acral lentiginous melanoma, commonly seen on palm, soles, and subingual skin, commonly found in elderly male of African Caribbean origin, Asians, and Caucasians. Most common size is grade 2. It is often misdiagnosed as benign disease like fungal disease or pyogenic granuloma. It is mostly an advanced lesion at the time of diagnosis. One specific sign, Hutchinson's sign, is found in acral lentiginous melanoma, where the dark pigmented macule appears beyond the proximal nail fold. On microscopy, epidermis shows acanthosis, radial growth phase with nesting atypical melanocytes, plump melanocyte clear halo of cytoplasm, heavily pigmented melanocytes. There is eccrine duct involvement. The duct is completely involved by atypical melanocytes. Mitotic activity is a prognostic indicator, and it is S100 negative, but HMB45 is positive. Uh, Other subtypes include desmoplastic, also known as fibrosing variant of spindle cell melanoma. These cells produce fibromucinous matrix, and these melanoma commonly found on elderly skin on sun-exposed part, oftenly head neck region. It is flat, subtle scar-like, so it is always misdiagnosed as scar tissue due to thickening. On microscopy, there are multiple spindle-shaped tumor cells surrounded by dense mature collagen in the dermis. These look like fibroblasts with bizarre hyperchromatic nuclei like sarcoma. Multinucleated cells with lymphocyte and plasma cells are clue for diagnosis of desmoplastic melanoma. Neurotropism, that is involvement of nerve bundles by the melanoma cells, can be seen in desmoplastic variant. S100 is always positive, whereas the HMB45 and melanine often negative. Next is neurotrophic variant of desmoplastic melanoma, where is circumferential arrangement of spindle-shaped cells around the nerve bundles in dermis and subcutaneous tissue. These cells usually lack melanin. They stain for positive for nerve growth factor, etc. This variant has a very high rate of recurrence. Next is melanoma arising in blue nevus. Pre-existing blue nevus present at periphery from which the melanoma arises. Common sites include skull followed by face, buttocks, backs. Age more than 45 years, fast-growing large nodule. Presence of satellitosis is a well-distinguishing clinical feature of this MBM. On microscopy, there is a high cellularity with no intervening stoma. Only cells are seen. Epidermis is not involved. Dermis shows large, dense sheet-like tumors nodules, destroying all adnexal structures. Areas of necrosis are seen. Next is melanoma arising giant congenital nevus. It is a very potential form of melanoma, potential deadly form of melanoma. It develops within the giant congenital nevus, commonly known as garment of bathing suit nevus. It occurs in first 5 years of life. Common sites include scalp and back. In this case, spatial CNS involvement is seen in almost one-third of the patients. It is rapidly growing plaque with often ulceration. On microscopy, three patterns of cell growth is identified. First is epithelioid cells with hyperchromatic nuclei and conspicuous nuclei. Small cells like Ewing sarcoma and large epithelioid cells with central prominent nuclei. Schizoid pattern. Frequent mitosis and necrosis is also seen in melanoma arising congenital nevus. Now we will see the few spatial variants of malignant melanoma which are rarely seen, which includes nevoid melanoma, bullous melanoma, follicular myxoid, balloon cell melanoma, signet ring melanoma. On microscopy, clear cell melanoma, signet ring melanoma seen, whereas the nucleus is pushed towards the periphery with clear cytoplasm. Right, rhabdoid melanoma shows bizarre atypical melanocytes. Myxoid melanoma, balloon cell melanoma, and nevoid melanoma. Special stains include IHC for melanoma, S100 SOC stain, Melane, MART1, HMB45. Melane, MART1, and Melane or MART1 and HMB45 are cytoplasmic stain, plus SOC stain is a nuclear stain. S100 stains both nuclear and cytoplasm. Metastasis. Advanced lesion in melanoma, stage 4 metastasis commonly to lungs, liver, and brain. Even lymph nodes and bones are also involved. Histological criteria for the diagnosis. It includes two factors, architectural and cytological. In architectural criteria, asymmetry, poor circumscription, consumption of epidermis, epidermis showing nets of melanocyte showing confluence haphazard arrangement, solitary melanocyte showing phagocyte spread, dermal nest showing confluence and haphazard distribution of melanin, and melanocytes within lymphovascular spaces are the architectural criteria, whereas cytological criteria includes nuclear pleomorphism, nuclear variability, mitosis, and increased apoptosis. International collaboration for cancer reporting has given a few elements for histopathological reporting. For reporting of melanoma, the report of pathologist should include uh, these factors. It is divided into two classes, essential and recommended. Essential factors should always be there in the report of pathologist, which includes breast flow thickness, surgical margin status, ulceration, mitotic count, satellites, lymphovascular invasion, desmoplastic melanoma component, and neurotropism. Whereas the recommended factors include extent of ulceration, Clark's level, tumor infiltrating lymphocytes, tumor recreation margins, any associated melanocytic lesions, intraepidermal melanocytic growth pattern, and subtype of melanoma. Few factors determine prognosis, morphological and clinical factors. Morphological factors include increased bristlow thickness, ulceration, increased mitosis, satellite deposits, increased nuclear volume, lymphovascular emboli, local recurrence, metastasis, and advanced clinical stage. Whereas the clinical factors, females, vitiligo, and pregnancy, which have low risk of melanoma. Poor prognostic features include primary tumor with breast thickness more than 1 millimeter, ulceration, male sex, vascular invasion, and perineural invasion. Number of lymph nodes involved have adverse prognosis. Distant metastasis like visceral metastasis have worse prognosis, whereas the skin metastasis have better prognosis. Elevated LDH is also linked with poor prognosis. When LDH is extraordinary increase in the blood, it shows the metastasis to the liver. American Joint Committee on Cancer has given staging that is melanoma staging, TNM staging, whereas the TX include tumor cannot be assessed. T0 is no evidence of primary tumor. T1, where the breast flow thickness is less than 1 millimeter. T2, whereas breast flow thickness ranges from 1 to 2 millimeter. T3, when thickness is 2 to 4 millimeter, and T4, where breast flow thickness is more than 4 millimeter. These are associated with or without ulceration. Lymph node status, NX, when lymph node is not cannot be assessed. N0, when one lymph node is involved. N2, where 1 to 2, 3 lymph nodes are involved. N3, whereas more than 3 lymph nodes are involved, or more than one lymph node with uh, metastasis, macrometastasis are involved. Metastasis, M0, no detectable metastasis, whereas M1, which has metastasis in distance organs or in nearby organs. So, the conclusion, despite advances in the molecular techniques, morphology along with the histology remains the gold standard in the diagnosis and prognosis of melanocytic lesions. Histological characteristics must always be evaluated in conjunction with the clinical context. Nowadays, FISH probes are under development for the diagnosis and prognosis of melanoma. These are my references. Thank you.